guys, it's me, Claudia. Today we're going to be making spaghetti, and I'm going to show you guys how to make spaghetti in case you don't have like spaghetti sauce, using stuff that you'll find in your pantry. So today I have some tomato paste. I have a whole peel tomatoes. Usually I like to use the stewed tomatoes, but I don't have any. And tomato sauce. I like this tomato sauce because it has basil, garlic, and oregano, so it gives it a good flavor. And I also have some veggies. I know I say this a lot, but I love color. Color gives the dishes such a sophisticated look. And so I have some yellow, red, orange, and green bell peppers that I'm going to chop up. And I'm going to use a quarter of an onion. So we're going to get that going first. So I'm almost done chopping all my peppers, down to the last one. Then we're going to get to our onion. And it doesn't have to be perfectly chopped because you are going to saute them and they're going to go into your sauce. Just kind of give them, it depends too, you know, some kids, if they see big chunks of vegetables that they don't like, they don't want to eat anything that they're not too familiar with. So for my son, I kind of chop him up a little bit small so that he can't tell, although sometimes he does, but he loves spaghetti, so he's good. So now that we're done cutting our onions and our bell peppers, we're going to go ahead and saute them. And so I have my pan here that I'm heating up, and I already have my pasta water going. Once it starts boiling, you can add the salt. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil here, some vegetable oil. You can add whatever oil you like. And we're going to saute our vegetables. And I almost forgot, chop up some garlic along with your onion and your vegetables. But we're going to do this last because if you leave garlic frying for too long, it gets kind of sour if it starts to burn, and you don't want that flavor in your sauce. And again, you can add as much garlic as you like. I am also going to add garlic powder to my ground beef, so I'm just going to keep it at 1 clove. And our pan's pretty hot. I'm going to add my vegetables. The color looks so pretty. Got a little steam going, so I'm going to throw my garlic in. Give it a stir. And you don't want to overcook your veggies because you're going to throw them back into the sauce and you're going to let your sauce simmer a little bit. So you don't want, like, you still want the color to stay there, and if you overcook it, you know, the color gets dull. You want a colorful sauce. Well, I do at least. Our veggies are ready to come out, and then I'm going to throw my meat inside. So I'm going to throw in 2 pounds of meat. Break it up. And all that that's left from sauteing your veggies, that's flavor for your meat. Get some salt going over here for your pasta. And now we're ready to season our meat. So I've got some garlic salt that has parsley in it. It's actually garlic powder. So you want to control how much salt you're going to put in your dish. We've got some black pepper, salt, and then let that cook down. You can add bay leaves, which I love using bay leaves. It gives such a good flavor. Bay leaves, oregano, parsley, basil, but I'll get to that once I get the sauce and I taste if it needs any of that seasoning. Italian seasoning works well too. So now we're ready to open our cans. So while that's cooking, I'm going to throw my pasta in. And you don't want to overcook your pasta to where you get mushy pasta. So we're going to time this to 11 minutes. And then we're going to test it out. And submerge your pasta. So our meat looks done. Depending on how lean your meat is, you see all that fat, I'm going to drain it because I don't like oily food. Greasy maybe, but not oily. So since these tomatoes are not stewed, they're whole tomatoes, I'm going to take them out of the can and just kind of give them a rough chop just to get them cooking faster. And again, if your kids don't like whole tomatoes, kind of chop them up to the size you think that it's good for them. And you don't want to throw all that juice. You're going to use it for your sauce. I got my tomato paste going. I'm going to throw my tomato sauce. I'm going to throw my tomatoes. Get that cooking. Mix it in with your meat. Usually I take the meat out and I cook the sauce separate and then I throw the meat in, but we're just going to do everything together. And you can always add another can of tomato. I think that's what I'm going to do because it's too much meat for the sauce, or at least I like my spaghetti saucy. So I ended up adding 3 cans of tomato sauce of the garlic, the basil, garlic, and oregano. Make sure you move your pasta around so it doesn't get stuck. Sometimes it starts cooking stuck together and you want to spread it apart. pull it apart actually. So you see how saucy it got with the 3 cans. I'm going to add my vegetables back in here. And I'm not going to add any seasonings yet until I taste everything together. And then I can go from there. Well, it's been 11 minutes for my pasta, so I'm going to test it for doneness. So it still needs a little bit more time, because when I put my pasta in, it stopped the boiling, of course, because they're not the same temperature. So 11 minutes just wasn't enough. So I'm going to add some bay leaves, just because I love the flavor that it gives the sauce. Stick them in there. And I'm going to add some parsley flakes. Some oregano. I love oregano. And again, you can add as much as you like. These are some basil leaves. Whoa. Okay. Or you can just add Italian seasoning if you have it. So go ahead and mix that up. So here's a little secret. Sometimes if your tomatoes are too, how do you say, acidy, you can add a little bit of white sugar just to kind of balance it out. And then I have one more thing I like to add to my sauce, which makes it rich, and I love it. I like to add butter, unsalted butter, again, so you can control the amount of salt that is in your sauce. Cover that up, let it melt. I don't know, I just feel like it gives it a different flavor, like a rich flavor to your sauce. And you guys, my pasta is done, so I'm going to turn it off. And it's not mushy and it's not hard. It's al dente, that's how I like it. And you can either, don't drain your pasta before putting it in the sauce if that's what you're going to do. Put it in right into the sauce with the pasta water. Or if you're the type of person that likes it separate, then that's good too. But in my house, we put it all together. But first I'm going to try the sauce. I think it needs a little bit of salt. And that way you control how much salt you're putting in your sauce. Try it again. It's good. And again, if you want to put more seasonings like oregano, basil, anything, you can go right ahead. And that's it. Pasta and spaghetti. I like to put my pasta straight into the pot, the sauce. And I already have my oven going. I'm going to start my garlic bread, and that'll be a complete dinner for tonight.